know that.
Here.
How we doing, guys?
Hey, Albert. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
Al, there was a report about 6 players being suspended. Can you comment on the authenticity and the accuracy of that report?
Well, what I can tell you is, and as you guys get to know me, you'll know that I don't address rumors, and that came from a source, an inaccurate source that obviously has no bearing on how we operate as a university, and had no reflection on either privacy or educational rules. So that was disturbing, and I'm more concerned with the source than I am with what was said.
So the report's inaccurate?
The report, any issues that we have on this team are going to be handled internally. The difference between that and obviously what's transpired here in the last 24 hours is that's in the public forum. I think it's really important for me as the coach and the players to have a real strong relationship, to have transparency and to trust each other. And obviously that's hard to do when you have someone leaking information to as a source.
Al, as we get to know you more and get to know the way, the hows and whys, how you go about things, does it make it more disappointing from my own situation that he is an upperclassman, somebody that I would assume that you, on paper, expect quite a bit from?
Yeah, number one, I want to reiterate what I said late last night or early this morning, and that is that up until this point, he's been an incredible student athlete and representative of the university. His misstep is unfortunate, but again, I want to make sure we're all on the same page, that this behavior will not be tolerated, and nor will anything that represents the university, our alumni, or the student body in that sense. Getting back to your question now, I will say this. Now, since I've been here, the kid's been amazing, and he's been a representative, and it's an unfortunate misstep. He's doing everything in his power to come to resolution with this, and I know he's very contrite and apologetic and obviously embarrassed.
There's a pretrial hearing on the 18th. Your spring game is on the 16th, and I know indefinite is somewhat open-ended, but can we presume that he will not be back out this spring?
We're just going to handle that internally as we gather information. To be honest with you, I'm no different than you guys right now. There's a lot of parties involved in this, and we're just going to handle it internally, and we'll see where it goes.
Al, do you have a policy on players accused of felonies? Is that an automatic suspension, or do you just let the process play out?
Let the process play out, and again, we're going to handle it internally. And if it's in the public forum, then we're going to address it like we're doing now. If there's ever issues that are internally or between a coach and a student athlete, or the university and a student athlete, then it's our job as educators and as professionals to make sure that we adhere to the student privacy laws and rights. So in this case, we're going to let the process play out, and we'll see where it ends up.
As far as the just the rumors of the suspensions, do you find that damaging, or do you think you should address it and kind of quell the I guess people try to put 2 and 2 together and maybe come up with 5?
Well, I hope they don't put 2 and 2 together. We're very proud of our track record here. We've had the best track record of anybody in the state of Florida with our student athletes over the last 5 years, arguably one of the best in the ACC. Coach Shannon should be commended for that. And the torch has been passed to us, and we're going to do everything we can to uphold the standards and the mission of the university. And hey, look, I have children. I'm an educator. We have 105 other players, and we had a lot of kids do things right. And this one thing is what we're focused on today instead of spring football. So we have to bring it to resolution, and obviously we're saddened by it.
Coach Holt, have you ever had a player arrested on a felony charge when you were coaching at Temple? And if so, what was your punishment?
I don't know what the actual charge ended up being. It was dismissal.
Oh, you dismissed the player?
Yep. I don't know what the charge ended up actually being at Temple, but it was dismissal because it was way more severe than this.
So what you're saying, yes?
I'm saying it's an internal matter, and we have to look at all the pieces.
So now or in the future, if players are suspended, we will not be told about it, even game day.
Oh, sure.
Missing?
No, we'll definitely tell you violation of team policy or conduct detrimental, but we're certainly not going to undermine the student coach privacy issues.
How is this incident, the reports of the 6 suspended players? You're trying to foster goodwill in the community. I know you're out quickly, you were watching on Monday, that sort of thing. Have these impeded at all, just even the specter of it all?
Not at all. Again, I mean, people that are around the program, they're not really addressing it. We communicate to the players We have transparency with our players. We treat the players with respect. In terms of what comes out, in terms of a rumor or anything like that, and where it goes, I have no control over that, and I have never addressed it in my career. I'm not going to start addressing it now.
Coach, as of right now, those 6 players will be starting opening game?
As of right now, which 6 players? I mean, you guys are asking me questions like I'm reading the papers. I don't know what 6 players are named, and it's everything that we do is internal. It's an internal matter.
Have any players been suspended by you?
If players
other than Raymond?
If players are suspended, you will be notified from our office and from Chris Freed and from me as the head coach. And right now, we are not discussing any matters that are internal, external.
But when you say notified, you mean pretty soon afterward. I'm not trying to.
Well, all I'm saying is that I think we've done a very good job communicating with you, and we're going to continue to do that. And when issues come up of that nature, when you hear from us, then you'll know it's what it is. It's as simple as that.
A football one, if I may. There was the new depth chart this morning.
Yeah.
A fair amount of jostling on it. Can we expect that throughout the spring? I know you've had a limited.
Well, we
window
had
of guys on the field.
I understand the question. No, we had 3 good practices and a lot of time to evaluate it. So, I think obviously we got some kids healthy. So some of those kids are back, and there's been competition at a lot of spots. So we saw a lot in 3 days. We expect to see a lot more between now and April 2nd, our first scrimmage, which will be available to everybody here. And then we'll no different than you. We're going to grade it as we go based on the scrimmages and performance and evaluate every day. So that's going to continue to change.
There are 2 schools of thought. There's coaches that tell players don't read into it at all, and there's coaches who tell players treat it as gospel. Where are you with
process? The process. If you stay on the process, the product will take care of itself, and that's the same as a player. If you're focused on the outcome all the time, it's first of all, it's a hard business to survive if you're focused on outcome all the time. You got to focus on the product. You got to focus on the process, and execute every day, and the outcome will take care of itself. And we're trying to teach the players that too. But also at the same time, you have to perform. So that's what we're seeing out here now. Who's studying, who's learning the plays, and who's performing on a daily basis.
Coach, you talked about maybe getting some players who were nicked up early in the spring back after spring break. Well, I guess Ray Ray's on the depth chart, which would suggest he's back. Who else in that group is back among the Marcus Robinson?
Yeah, Marcus Robinson looks like he's close. Ray's close. I think we're going to see more from the wide receiver pool. How much we actually get from some of those guys, but we should see more from Hernsey and those guys. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that jumps out right now. Other than that, we're fairly healthy, and obviously we're coming off a 12-day break, so we'll see how we compete here the next week.
Kevin Nelson back with you? Or?
Kevin Nelson's with us. He'll be out here today, and he'll start his transition back. And again, that was an internal matter too, and we're glad to have him back. And he's got an opportunity here to move forward today.
What did you? Changes I saw.
Yeah, there is a couple of position changes. Eduardo Clements has gone to corner, and we're very grateful for his attitude and his approach to that, and we're excited about that. It was a situation where we felt he was one of the best, 22, certainly one of the best, 44 on the team, and we wanted to give him a shot where he could play. It doesn't preclude him from playing running back in the future, but certainly right now we think he has a shot to compete for a starting job at corner, and he was gracious enough to move over there. And then also Olsen Pierre has moved inside. He's got a tremendous frame. I mean, he's 270 pounds, so he's moved inside to a 3 technique, and he'll surely be big enough. I mean, he'll probably be 280 pounds by August. So we're very pleased with his progress as well.
What did you see out of Ja'Cory that elevated him to the top spot temporarily?
Ja'Cory's had a good start. We got to make sure that he's taking what the defense gives him, sees his checkdowns, but he's had a good start. I think I'm very proud of all 3 of those guys because there's a lot of competition. It's easy to be polarized or be separated. They haven't done that. They've stayed together, and they're competing. And he just, in the first 3 practices, he probably performed the best, but we'll see how it shakes out.
I know it's
Alan,
been very early. Can you quantify what you've seen out here as far as talent? Do you have enough to win the ACC or maybe contend for the ACC, or how do you feel?
Again, we've had one day in pads, so what I don't want to do is jump the gun. But I am excited about our team, and I'm excited about the way they're working, and it's just exciting to get back out here. It's nice to get back out here, and to be honest with you, we're going to find out who we have here in the next 4 practices, and then we have a scrimmage, and then we'll finish with 3 scrimmages at the end of the year.
Al, at Mike linebacker, who else do you have besides Gaines and Kane? Has Futch moved outside? Is Nelson at
Futch. Well, what we want to do with Futch is because we think he's versatile. We want to train him at a couple different spots. So he's going to play some Will this week. He might, play some Sam as well. But right now, he's a Mike and a Will for us, and we'll go from there.
So it's Gaines, Kane, and anyone else in the middle?
Nelson? Or? Kevin Nelson, and then we'll rotate. We'll rotate, a bunch of guys through there. What we want to find out is who can do what this spring. We don't want to just lock anybody in. So everybody that's at those positions will have an opportunity.
Thank you.
And
can you rotate?
As you've gone around in your short time in the job, people are really hungry for
Anybody else?
success around here. They're kind of wait and see. Or how do you think?
No, they're hungry. They're hungry, and so are we. So obviously, we're disappointed that we had to spend 15 minutes talking about a misstep. But look, we have great kids, and we have a great university, and the bottom line is, we have to get it going in the right direction. Our kids are excited, and I know the area is excited about us getting back. All right, guys, thanks.